I wanted to just come briefly talk to you tonight a little bit about what's going on with Historic Preservation Commission. Before I do that, though, I did want to give our best to Judy. She's at home, and we wish her well in her recovery. She's been our liaison to Historic Preservation for pretty much as long, or been on the board as pretty much as long as there has been one. So we wish her well in what she's in her recovery tonight. So we've been working diligently without our full contingent of members, which is part of the reason I'm up here, to try to implement some projects that we had. One is our creating a new website for historic preservation. So I wanted to pass out the front page of that to you. This is what it kind of looks like. This is not in color, which it actually appears there. I know, I'm sorry, I'll have the color one coming up though. What I'm doing is designing this so that people can come on and look at our activities, and also what Historic Preservation Commission does for the village and the projects we've had in the past. There's a page, you can barely make it out at the top, there's a page there for sites of the month where I've posted the sites from this year and most of the ones from 2021, or 22 I mean, 21, sorry, I said this year I meant 22 and 21, how about that? And we'll continue to upgrade and update that page to reflect the sites of the month. There's also going to be a page that looks at all the local landmarks and gives a description of them. What I mean by local landmarks is ones that are either truly local landmarks or state or federal landmarks, so that those are actually on there as well. And so that's kind of been the goal, is to try to get something that people can see it's a little larger for them to look at as far as historic preservation. And then the more immediate project that I have going is, I got approval from the board before we lost our last members, one of our last members, was to implement a project for West Main Street where we would have QR codes in the windows, and then as people walked down the street, assuming the business would allow us to do this, people could take their phones, hit the QR code, and then actually it pops up the description of the business. And then a little narration at the side just in case you don't have a phone. So that's the so you could do that. So so that's one of our long-range goals, is to have some way for people to interact as they walk around the village, not actually having formal tours, although we certainly would do that, but also you could just walk in there and take it and see what the history of that building looked like. And that link would be to a page in this website, which is the reason why the website is so cool, because it allows us to have a lot of pages, potentially. So that's the thing there. So I would ask the board to consider allowing us to link this on the village's own website. Right now, there's kind of a really antiquated drop-down menu, which we could just eliminate. Instead, we just have a button where the village resident could just hit the button, and it would just automatically take them to our site. So this is a Google site, so it's pretty secure. It's attached to an email address, my own. So it's actually pretty secure on that one as well. And in addition to that, because we were chasing around looking for opportunities for people to communicate with us, I don't want them necessarily to email me personally. I did establish another Google address, a Gmail address for the Historic Preservation Commission. So people can actually get in touch with us if they just want to talk about that alone, because I get a lot of different emails from everything else. So it's a way to kind of separate them out. So we're kind of working on a level of trying to make ourselves finally getting to 2015, even though it's 2023. And so we will hopefully be able to have people contact us. We did lose 2 of our members, which has made it hard for us to meet. So we're looking for new members, those of you who are out there, to be on the Village Historic Preservation Commission. I know there's a great deal of interest in history in Webster. The biggest obstacle, if there is one, is that you have to be a village resident. So we really want you to think about, if you're a village resident and you're interested in preserving the history of the village, if you love the old buildings, if you love the look of the village, then I would definitely encourage you to come on board. But we're not just about preserving the past, we're also about celebrating it. So we have done presentations in the past. Every month we do Sites of the Month during the summer. And then we've done also tours. So we've done garden tours, house tours, done a church tour. So we have all kinds of ability to do that too. So if you want to get involved, this is an excellent time to do it, because we're looking for members, and there's a lot to do. And you don't have to do too much. There's just one meeting a month on the 3rd Tuesday, so it's easy to do. And we have a flyer, which I'll give one of you guys one of these. So this is a kind of recruitment flyer with the Gmail address on it, and this is our Google site address. That's right there as well. So if you guys want to pause you're looking at it again, there it is. And but we're looking to see if we get more people involved. Missy Rosenberry did an excellent write-up in her column recently in her blog about members as well. So we're just kind of pushing that along to try to increase our membership again for those people who are interested in this activity. But the Historic Preservation Commission has done a great deal of good in the past. We can still do a great deal of good in the future by preserving the past. So that's my pitch there. So, but we still are working on projects. I'm still finishing up projects that were given approval before. So I'm not idle. I just can't start anything new until we get a full quorum. The other thing is I'm looking for members for the Parks Committee, which I'm on as well. So if you love the village parks, you can join that as well. Get in touch with me. We can look at that as well. We're about to do our spring inventory. And then we're looking for members for that too. So this pitch for that one. Any questions?
Do we still have those packs of information that they could give new homeowners?
We do. I have those available. If people want to look at more information about their home, Lynn's very, very available to do that. She's helped people. And then we also have information if they wanted to just designate a local landmark. Is that kind of what you're talking about? Or
no, the welcome packet that I used.
Oh yeah, we just do, well, the welcome packet, I have redone it a little bit, so I'd like to start doing it again. Yes, the quick answer is I do have it. Yes, but right now it's separate. Right now it's separate slides. Well, if you give me their addresses, I will make sure they get something. How's that? Because I can do that. It's getting the time and then knowing who they are. Yeah, it'd be great. So I would prefer not to give them an envelope with like 6 flyers in it, but rather to give them one flyer that has 6 pieces of information in there about. But that's what I'm working on, is trying to consolidate the information so that there's not that much to look at, so people don't have to. I know some people have, people have limited time, and we just want to give them an introduction to our village and what we are and what historic preservation is, and the community, the great community that they live in. So that's what it is.
Thank you, Peter.
All right, thanks.
Thank you for the stuff. I allowed you to go 7 minutes over your approved time.
Hey, Peter, I got a question. Do you have enough members to comprise a quorum?
Not right now.
Oh, you just said that.
No, I don't have a quorum right now, so what I'm doing is I'm only working on the projects that we actually approved before the quorum got lost.
So if, well, the problem is if a property owner that's, wants to do something to a building that's got historic status in the village.
We can't do anything right now.
But you can't just hold up that person from doing,
Well, the only you've read the code just as much as I have, I suspect. And the only thing I can see that we have an absolute requirement is for an application for local landmark status, which is rare because that ties up the building completely. Or the other one is if there's a demolition a demolition requested from the zoning board, it has to be referred to the Historic Preservation Commission. So neither one of those has happened. I hope, and it would be nice if they didn't while they're in this circumstance. But right, but yeah, those are the two quote, they're not statutory, they're village code oriented activities that we must do. So
yeah, that's what I was getting.
Yeah.
So how many people do you need for a quorum?
3. We're down to 2. We need one more person. If we just have one more person, it'd be
You
great.
just need one more person.
Right. One volunteer, and then there's 2 more spots open after that, but at least we'd have meetings and be able to conduct business again. So, on the other hand, it's kind of a nice vacation for me, so I can work on projects that we were able to catch up on. So I'm actually, like I said, I'm not idle. I just can't start anything new. But there's a lot to do that's still old. And we have a whole host of sites of the month we came up with last year. So we would like to proceed with that as well. I do have some limited ability to do that because the board gave me the ability to look at sites of the month without approval last year, so I can do that. But we're expanding that program too, by the way. We're gonna, in the past, it's kind of been looking at homes, we're going too long, but in the past it's been like homes that have been fixed up. I know, Jerry, I'm sorry. But what we're gonna do probably in the future is look at all historic buildings in the village to try to recognize them, assuming they're not falling down, to know that so people know what the site was and have the history of that site as well. So we're going to expand the program a little bit because there's so many different buildings. I mean, believe it or not, if you live in the Shands Tract on, say, Judson or London or Maryvale, your home is now historic. It's gone to the 50-year level. So you may think that everything on Dunning is the only historic thing, but remember, 50 years ago, the people on Dunning probably didn't think their houses were very historic either, but now they really are. And now, so time moves on. So it's really kind of.
So
Jake, your house is very historic. So. it's
So if
also-
someone owns a business, Pete, in the village but doesn't live here, they wouldn't be able to.
They would not. It's not in the code. I don't know how to fix
I
that.
I thought I remembered, I'm sorry to interrupt, but I thought I remembered in the code, specifically the members of the commission, I think they said had to be village resident, but there, was it the historian or somebody that specialized in architecture wouldn't have to necessarily live in the village, but they could be on the commission.
I don't know if it really is. We can go back and read the code again. I'm not gonna, I don't wanna go to the nitty gritty of it here, but
Yeah, just-
there are some specific things it says about what people should have interest in. It kind of gives a little bit of leeway, but yeah, I didn't see any way to get out of the village residency issues, but that's why we have an attorney. So,
You could have people from outside the village do all this stuff except for the two statutory parts of it,
okay,
to help you with the tours and you could, especially since Lynn Barton, she's the historian for both the village and the town.
right,
So you could expand it to town residents just when it came to a village property that, was looking to develop that's subject to the, they couldn't vote on that.
okay.
But they could help you with everything else.
Well, certainly, we'll take volunteers, absolutely.
Right.
If you're in Williamson, we'll let you volunteer too, so anyway, either way, so yeah, but we'll
You're
discuss.
just not a voting member.
Because they have no LED
Because you might
lights.
want to do, there's
Yeah, no,
historic
absolutely.
barns in the town or something, and you can include, have a tour of that.
Yeah, absolutely.
Expand it.
Yeah, we actually do have some great historic carriage houses in the village. That's a very good suggestion. I'll put that down. Thank you. So, yeah, didn't think about that one.
Good job, Don.
Okay.
Well, unless Jake wants to volunteer to be on the commission, we can appoint him tonight.
When do you meet?
Yeah, he's
We meet the third Tuesday of the month.
During the day?
No.
It's not on the agenda, it's not on the agenda.
Yeah.
This is.
Oh, yeah, it's not on the agenda.
Yeah, it's not on the agenda.
All right, well, thank you very much.
And they needed to coach.
All right, well, then.
What, you meet from like 12 to 2, like every day?
No, we meet like 7 to 8:30 on the
Oh,
third
geez.
Tuesdays.
Hey, you got wing night, Jake.
Yeah, that's the longest 5 minutes.
At
Thank you,
Beardy's?
Peter.
You ask questions.